Thank you so much. I need a hug.
All right, Johnny.
Love you.
You want to go out the front?
Yes, let's come out front and
watch the microphone.
I will. So yesterday I was the feedback guy. I kept turning around and it sounded like a Jimi Hendrix concert, feedback ringing out everywhere. I won't do that today. I set the record. Is that the truth?
I think he's like royalty. There we go. As John brings his beer around specially for him, because you need that, of course.
Thank you.
That's probably the thing that goes best with chili. Beer.
It does. Absolutely.
But for you, anything, I suppose.
Anything.
So you told me some fantastic stories yesterday, but there was one thing that I didn't ask you. I mean, you're American.
I am.
Where do you get your chilies in America?
I'm blessed. You know, before I started my channel, I had to really seek them out and hunt them out. I'm just a very, very fortunate person. You'll bump into a lot of really fortunate people. You're never going to meet somebody more fortunate than me. I'm at a place now where I walk somewhere, and the first 10 minutes here today, people will jump out of nowhere. Johnny with the bag. I got something I want you to try. So early on, I would get most of my chilies from grocery stores, or I have to go online and hopefully find somebody that's reputable. But now I'm in a spot where I get to travel to your home, places like this, the most beautiful place on the planet. But I meet the greatest people, and I eat the greatest peppers. So I'm very blessed that it seems to come to me.
So I thought it would be a little bit difficult if this wall goes up. You might not be able to get to the chilies you're chasing after.
Gee, what wall are you talking about? I'm kidding. I don't talk about.
What are you talking about here?
Here's the thing. You know what's? I'm glad you brought that up. One cool thing about my channel, we don't talk about politics. 960 or 70 videos on my channel. Go through all the comments, about 100,000 comments. You aren't going to find one. Your mouth is burning. She's doing. You're not going to find a single comment about politics or about religion or about anything divisive, because you know what? None of that matters when we're sitting around getting together like this. All that matters is that we have a love for chilies and things spicy.
But you also told me you like to go on the fly and do things as they come. So we'll take a few. We'll get people to ask you a few questions.
Sure. I love winging it.
We'll start with some political things.
There you go.
Has anyone got a political question for Johnny? Anybody?
Good. Let's talk about peppers.
This is an opportunity to show him up, guys. Put him on the spot. This is what he thinks he's best at. Here we go. We've got a question over here. And after this, we'll get on to some religious stuff.
There you go.
G'day, mate.
G'day.
Have you tried Pepper X yet?
I've had Pepper X in sauces. Ed Curry, the creator, is a friend of mine, and he has assured me that the moment he begins releasing pods for reviews, I'm the first person he'll send one to. You know, I haven't had the actual pepper yet, so I can't speak much on the pepper, the chilies, the pods, but I'll be really honest. The Last Dab. Have you guys ever heard of that? Okay, Last Dab is a very hot sauce. It's featured on First We Feast, which is a YouTube channel where they get celebrities, not like me, but real celebrities, and they try to destroy them with 8 different chicken wings of varying levels, each one getting hotter, and the Last Dab is their hottest sauce. And on 2 different occasions, I drank the whole bottle. So it didn't seem as hot. Now, I will tell you this, it's very, very flavorful and delicious, but I just didn't find it as hot as most people say it was going to be. That said, I can't wait to eat one. Any other questions?
Well, we'll ask some more questions a bit later. How did you get into this? How did you get into chilies? How long have you been eating them for?
Oh, I'm an old guy. I'm not young. So I've been eating peppers forever. I think, really, I was 7 or 8 years old, 7 or 8 approximately. I lived in the country, and we had a garden. And if you were here yesterday, you kind of heard this story, but it's worthy of telling. My family had, rows of stuff, and one row on the very outside edge of the garden was a row of jalapenos. And my friends would all sneak in and try to sneak chocolate or chips or something for a snack. And when I wanted a snack, my mom would shoot me. I didn't do that. So I ran to the garden and I found the jalapeno plant. And it was the first one I ate was probably that big. I was a kid, so it seemed like that big. But I ate it, and we had a lot of land. And I remember running around like in overwhelming pain, and I'm like, I'll never do that again. And the next day I'm out look at the pods going, that's a good one. And I just started eating all the pods. And a few weeks after this happened, I remember the conversation. We're like, yeah, the jalapenos aren't really producing out there. I'm like, because they were producing, but they were producing just for me. So that's kind of what got me started.
So how old were you then?
I think 7 or 8 years old.
So I did a a talk on ABC a few years ago, and we were talking about how kids can really handle flavours and heat much better than we can. So it's not uncommon to see kids having chili these days, is it?
No, look around you. This is amazing. Guys, at the very back, there's a booth where they're literally just introducing children to peppers into the chili world, which is critical because that's the future. You know what I mean? So that's really important. I'm not sure about younger kids being able to handle the heat hotter than most. I will tell you this. Here's a funny story. I'll make it quick. I was in Chicago, and I had my own booth, and I don't sell sauces. I'm just a YouTube guy. But I had a lot of T-shirts that we were selling. And I had some sauces that my name and my picture appears on 6 different sauces from different sauce makers. And they were here that day. And we were giving samples to promote this company. It was Sam and Oliver's is the company. And this family walks up, a man and a wife and a little boy. And the little boy is about that big, okay? He doesn't know I'm talking about, but he was about that big. So they come up and they said straight away, I want the hottest sauce you have, a Reaper sauce. I said, okay. And the little one about that size says, and I went to the more mild sauces, and his dad says, nah, he's a chili head. I'm like, he can't say chili head. What do you mean he's a chili head? He can't even say that word yet. He goes, trust me. And I reached out, I squirted a little, just a drop. He said, come on, give him some sauce. So I filled this little boy's spoon, and I kid you not, he was that age. He had to reach his hand up like this to get it over the table so I could give him some. And the father ate it, and the mother ate it, and the little boy ate it, and he just was like, next. He just took off, and I watched him like he's gonna get 10 feet away and fall down. That kid was fine. So the nice thing about it is that that little boy will never stop eating chilies, and that's beautiful.
We do have different laws in Australia. I don't think we'd get away with that here.
I was cautious.
I think it's good. It's good for kids to have a try, for sure.
Yep. And here's the thing: like, I don't like people that prank people. It's things people like doing that, like pranking somebody, making them eat something hot to see a reaction. That's not cool. So if you volunteered to do that, that's one thing, but you should never prank somebody because it's spooky.
Who wants to see Johnny eat a chili? Hands up. Grab a chili off any of the trees. Don't let Johnny know what it is. Let's see if he can guess what it is.
Oh, jeez, here we go.
I'm going to put him right on the spot. Don't pick a chocolate one because that's too obvious. Be quick.
I'm not looking.
Now, whilst we're waiting,
yes.
What do you do? You do much cooking with chilies?
I cook. I'm not much of a cook. I would say the majority of the chilies I eat are just chilies that I eat. I mean, I'll throw chilies in, but I'm not much of a cook, you know.
Do you ever do anything with it? Do you chop it up, put a bit of onion and oil in it?
Yeah, of course,
like
yeah. You guys, I put hot sauce on ice cream. I don't use salad dressing. I use hot sauce, so I'm a bit odd. But so you have a pepper for me?
We're going to have to trial that ice cream thing though in a little while. If anyone can get him an ice cream, we'll get some hot sauce on top of it.
What type is it?
Yeah, let's...
I have a feeling I know what it is, but I'm not quite sure. The shape of it looks like a BTR. I don't know if that... Do you have BTRs on the stage? Now that I've already picked it, let's take a look and see what it is, see if I'm right.
Have a taste. Have a taste first. Tell us if you know what it is from taste.
Was that a BTR? Trinidad Scorpion Butch Tea. The flavor is hot. Here's the thing. Do you guys know much about the Scoville heat rating? A jalapeno is about 5,000 Scoville heat units. The one I'm eating right now is definitely north of 1 million. And I'm not, listen, my name is Scoville, but I'm not a Scoville meter. I can't like spit out a meter and tell you what the heat rating is or what the pod is. Some pods have unique flavors that you can pick up immediately. It's not one of them. But it's hot, you know. The average person, if you tried one of these, I think you'd have a problem with it. So you want to, here's a great thing. You can always eat more peppers, but guess what? Once you've eaten too many, you're in it for the ride. You can't, you know, only one of the things I'm asked a lot is I've ever had to go to a doctor or a hospital for peppers.
Now, what's your name?
Violet.
Hi, Violet.
Violet? That's not a violet, though.
Awesome.
Okay, is that a gift, is it?
Did you pick this because it's pretty and yellow?
Yeah.
I'm glad you did. Thank you.
We're going to get him to try 3 chilies.
Are we?
3 today. But your record's, what, 27, I think you said?
No, I've eaten more than that. 27 Reapers.
27 Reapers, there you go.
There have been times, in the last 5 days, I bet you I've eaten 70 Super Hots. All right, so this is a yellow pod. You know what? I have a passion for yellow pods because I find that yellow pods seem to be more fruity and really fruity, and a lot of times they have citrus notes that go along with it. And I don't know what this is, but we're gonna. Even eating it, I won't find out. I'm not sure, but I can sure tell you what it tastes like.
We'll see if he can guess though.
It sort of tastes like a yellow scorpion.
You can smell it. It's coming over.
People in the front row may be able to smell it. I don't know what it is. It tastes like a yellow scorpion. Scotch bonnet orange.
There we go.
As far as the heat on this, it's nowhere near the heat level of a Reaper. But what you'll find is it's very, very fruity and flavorful. Great tasting pod.
I've got to say, I've been coming to this show now for a long time, and a lot of people come up to me and say they can smash chilies, but not many people can keep talking after they have it.
That's part of the, that's why I started my channel. If you guys watch YouTube channels about chilies, most of them are very rude. They use inappropriate language, so this whole front row wouldn't be able to hang out here.
I think John's decided to pick your next one.
Uh-oh.
No, give it to me.
So I started my channel because I wanted to make something that was family friendly, that everybody here could watch. You wouldn't be offended. And the tolerance, like most people, your window of opportunity to describe a pepper, if you're not used to it, is real short, because a couple of seconds after you eat it, you're not tasting anything, you're tasting pain. The higher your tolerance for heat gets, the more open your taste buds will become. Like people think all the time, oh, your taste buds are fried, Johnny, you can't taste anything. I promise you, I'll eat this, I don't even know what it is, I'll eat this pepper, and I will pick things up in this pepper that the average person here would not be able to pick up. They would just say, oh, it's hot, it's hot. So I don't know what this is. It's a red pod, obviously. Another thing that happens is that people think that the heat is in the seeds. Put your hand up if you've heard that before. Now keep your hand up if you still think that that's the truth. Thank you. There's no heat in seeds. You know what this is? Ghost pepper heat, ghost pepper level. Super fruity, though, great flavor. You know, everybody asks me all the time, excuse me, what my favorite pepper is. I don't like saying my favorite pepper is this, because that may change tomorrow. But I will tell you this, that ghost peppers are one of my favorites, because they have a great flavor, really good flavor. There's many varieties of ghost, but it has a great creeping burn that sort of starts slow like a forest fire, but then builds and builds. And before you know it, you're really burning, and it's wonderful. It tends to linger longer, which I like. You'll see people, have you guys seen people that have eaten a pepper and immediately drinking milk? That's like starting a fire and then throwing water on it. I don't know why you would do that. If you want to start a fire, start a fire. I don't eat milk, I drink milk, because that would stop the burn. And as bizarre as this may sound, that's why I do this. So this is flavorful, it's great. And this is a hot pepper.
So you've told us about how you started, but a lot of the chili producers here today have been really praising you and talking you up. A lot of people here might not know exactly what you do.
Right.
You've got a YouTube channel.
I do.
Tell us about your YouTube channel and how did it come about?
Okay, it came about just because I wanted to provide something that everybody could watch. 90% of the videos that are out there for chilies, I would be horrified if my mom watched it. You know what I mean? I wanted to do something that was family friendly, rated E for everybody. And that's really how it started. My channel, you'll see two different kinds of videos on my channel. Right now, I think there's somewhere between around 960 videos that are up there that you can see. Two basic things. I do reviews of peppers, hot sauce, chutney, whatever, a salsa. So it's reviews where I'll just sample it. I'll tell you what I'm tasting. I never give a flavor rating, because what I like, you might not like. So if I like the flavor, I'll tell you why I like it. If it's distasteful, I'll tell you why. The other videos I make, and those comprise probably 80% of the videos on my channel are reviews. And then I do challenges. And although the challenges are I don't want to say dangerous, because I don't think chilies, they can be dangerous, but the challenges I do are meant to push the boundaries, push the envelope.
Tell us about the one on the plane. You had a challenge on a plane.
That was fun. Well, first of all, every plane I get on, I usually have a live stream. I'll eat a pepper on a plane while we're taking off. But I went to Denver maybe a year ago, and I decided I wanted to jump out of an airplane and skydive. But while I was falling, I wanted to eat a bunch of Carolina Reapers, the hottest pepper, during the free fall. And I called Desiree, who helps me run my channel, and I said, I want to jump out of an airplane. She goes, and? I said, I want to eat peppers while I'm falling. And she goes, why do you want to do that? I'm like, has anybody done that? I don't think anybody has. So I did. We went to Colorado, and I jumped out at 13,000 feet and ate 3 Carolina Reapers during the free fall. And the filming, here's the thing. What I did wasn't so amazing. The videographer was a rock star. He was like right in front. Every time I put a pepper in my mouth, he was so close I could have touched his feet. And we're going 125 miles an hour towards the ground. So that was a really fun one. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go up to 15,000 feet and see if I can eat 2 extra reapers during the free fall. But that was fun. You know why that was fun? It was a combination of 2 amazing rushes. And anybody here ever get an endorphin rush from eating a pepper? Yeah. All right. So I got this amazing endorphin rush from eating a pepper. And if you want an endorphin rush, be in a plane at 13,000 feet and watch them open the door. Because we've all been on planes. Everybody here has, right? Most people have. You're never, if you were ever at altitude and a door opened up, it's a panic situation. So when they open the door, it's kind of surreal. So to mix those 2 great endorphin rushes at the same time was epic. It was amazing.
Now, you did it like a buddy dive, right? Because I remember watching this.
Yep.
Wasn't the guy you were strapped to got burned in the eyes or something from the Chile heat?
No, well, here's the crazy thing.
How did it happen?
I used to be certified. I could jump by myself, but I hadn't jumped in a long time. And if you don't keep it fresh, you lose your certification. So when I had to jump, I had to have somebody strapped to me. They called it a tandem jump. And he actually knew me, which was weird. He's like, Johnny, what are you doing here in Colorado? He watched the channel. I said, I live in Reno. He goes, I know that, but what are you doing here? I said, we're going to jump out of an airplane, eat some peppers. So in the plane, he's strapped to me. I opened up the bag of peppers, had a bunch of reapers that were sent to me by Ed Curry. And I said, who wants one? I was kidding. No, I would have given everybody one, but I didn't think anybody would take the offer. I mean, we're in a plane, about to jump out of an airplane, right? So this, I can't remember his name. It was Sean. His name was Sean. I said, does anybody want one? It's like chewing gum. I brought some for the whole class. I expect everybody to say no, but the figures, the one guy who's attached to me goes, I'll try it. I went, are you sure? He goes, yeah. So I handed him back a Reaper, and he ate that Reaper on the plane. If you watch the video, you can tell he wasn't in great distress, but he had a little bit of distress. But he was attached to me, like control of my life. So we jumped out and I ate 3 peppers. He had a helmet on with a face mask that came down to here. And you're going 125. When the canopy popped at 5,000 feet, the first thing his head's right here because he's attached to me. And the first thing I hear is, Johnny, I smelled those peppers the whole free fall. You need to think about the power of a pepper. He's wearing a helmet and we're going 125. I'm in front of him. He smelled those peppers the entire free fall. So that was really exciting. It was a thrill.
Yesterday we were talking about chilies being pleasurable and painful.
Sure.
Give us those 2 extremes. Give us a couple of examples.
There is a razor line. On this side there's pleasure, on that side there's pain. But that line that divides the 2 is so razor fine it's not funny. I think the tolerance to peppers, to be honest, is almost a tolerance to pain. I have a great tolerance for pain. The only time I go to a doctor is if a bone is sticking out. You know what I mean? So there is a fine line, and when you go through that experience, I asked a moment ago who's had an endorphin rush, and a lot of people put their hand up. Do you guys know what that is? In a little bit, after this talk is over, we're going to be doing a chili contest. I will not be in it. I'm just going to kind of stand up there and talk, but you're going to watch people go into shock.
That could be you. We will be looking for competitors.
Listen, I'm not in the contest, so you don't need to worry about like a ringer being in there. You need to come up and try it. But you're going to see people that kind of go into a state. At first, it's sort of a shock, but then it's a state of euphoria. Because what ends up happening is your body goes into distress, and your brain is sending signals out like, hey, we got a problem. We're on fire here, so send some dopamine, some endorphins, which is our body's natural response to pain. You hear people have stories where they get shot, but they don't know it. Endorphins, dopamine.
I just noticed there's a Collingwood supporter over here. He's used to pain, so I'm going to make sure he enters. I think he'll have a good chance of taking it out. Having said that, though, yesterday we had a Thai lady here, and she seemed like she would have really been able to have a crack.
That was interesting because we're eating sauces, and I'm used to my skill being a little bit different than a lot of other people's. She was like, "It's only a 3 or 4." Please, when we're almost done here talking, there's going to be a couple things I want to tell you about real quick. There's a raffle over there behind me. I want you to find Darren Hackett, the Global Hot Sauce Awards booth. He's got Well, I don't know how many bottles there are. It's a raffle. You guys want to win a year's supply, maybe 2 years? I looked at it, I said, that would last me 6 months. And Desiree said, 6 months? That would last me 10 years. You can have an opportunity to win a tremendous amount of sauce, so go there and check that out. That's really important. I want you guys to do that. But enter into this contest. Have some fun. Eat some peppers. I promise you, you'll like it.
John was just telling me we've already got the competitors all organised for this one.
For this one here? How many are there?
I don't know. Where's John?
John, how many do we have in here? Only 6? Nah, there's not. Hey, stop. Listen. Did you hear what he said? 6? I'm looking at a sea of people. Are you telling me we can't find somebody else to step up here and eat some hot peppers?
What we could do to make it a little bit interesting is we could have you on the side having the chilies as well.
No, I would love that. I will be up there.
Not competing.
No, I won't.
But
I'm
maybe
going to be up there.
commentating.
Every pepper you guys will eat, I will eat. But you guys have a chance to win this. But let's not have 6 people. Come on. Somebody, let's see. Look at that. Somebody's volunteering somebody. No, don't say no. Oh, is it really? Oh my gosh, it's closed. Wow. I'm sorry. It's closed. But that said, I want all of you guys to come up and watch, cheer these people on, because these guys are brave. Men and women that try this are brave. It's not an easy thing. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We have some time left, or are we getting close? I think we're getting close. Are we getting close to it?
And we've got about 15 minutes to go.
Really? Let's ask some more questions. Does anybody have any questions?
30 minutes before we start.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions at all?
Here we go.
I'm not sure the prize. The endorphin rush you get is part of it. Glory.
Hi, Johnny. If
Hi.
the jalapeno's 5,000, what's the Carolina Reaper?
It ranges. I was talking to John recently, a couple times in the last few days. The Carolina Reaper ranges from about 1.5 million Scoville heat units as high as around 2.2 million. But a really interesting thing that I've shared with John and we've talked about. You can have these plants behind me. You can pull two pods or peppers, chilies from the same plant, and they'll have different flavors, different levels of heat. And because of that, in a contest, somebody might just get the wrong peppers, and everyone's a little bit higher than everybody else's. So you know what John's done? Chopped them up, mixed them all up so that everybody's kind of getting the same thing. So we've kind of removed that problem from this contest.
Anyone else got a question? We get to have a religious one, yes?
I know. We've got God Stoppers, which are, you're going to find them hotter than the Carolina Reaper. Yes?
I'm a bit new to the chili scene, but could you explain how do you work out the heat on this scope?
The Scoville scale. Now, Wilbur Scoville is the one who created the way to tell the heat on peppers. And what they do is they dry the pepper out and they add it to water and how many ounces of water it takes to dilute it so you don't have any flavor anymore. And that's how they do that. I don't know how accurate it is. Same name, not related. All I do is, it's me. How do I feel? How does it taste? How hot is it? So that's kind of how it works out. But an interesting thing, like I said, you can pull 2 peppers from the same plant. One's not as hot as others. One of the hottest peppers I ever ate in my life was just a Trinidad scorpion. I don't know who grew it. I don't remember, but boy, oh boy, it was really, really hot. But the greatest thing about peppers is that, you know what's fascinating? They all have a different flavor. They really do. If you're not used to peppers, you may not be able to discern what those flavors are, but the more you eat them, the better you get at it. But they all burn you differently. Who's eating a Reaper in here? Or taste? Okay, guess where that Reaper burns? Your throat. It does. It burns in your throat. Some peppers burn you on the front of your lips. Habanero has more of a sting, if you ask me. It kind of stings the tongue like needles going on. It's like your tongue's getting a tattoo. But they all have a different burn, so a lot of times people that create sauces will use different kind of peppers, not only for the flavor that it adds to the sauce, but the fact that when you have different kind of peppers, what it does is it burns you differently. And that's very neat.
Do you think it makes much of a difference with what you maybe had for breakfast or lunch or dinner?
I've eaten so many peppers today, I don't know. I had peppers for breakfast. Yeah, I was here with Chef Kennedy. We walked along and I was like, when I first walked up here, I found a yellow pod on the ground. It fell off, or somebody picked it and didn't eat it. I thought, what a tragedy that is. I can't let that go to waste. So I picked it up and ate it.
Any more questions? We've got probably time for maybe 2 or 3 more. Like this young bloke. Here we go.
Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry.
Does it depend on how they were grew to make it spicy enough?
What a great question. Are you kidding me? Right there. Yeah, it absolutely does. Now, I don't grow, and I'm not an expert. I just eat them a lot. Good question, though. But yes, some people grow hydroponically. They use different fertilizers, or some organically. I think organic is probably the best way to go. In other words, no chemicals, nothing that a person made in the lab. Hey, if you pour this stuff on your plant, it'll help it. I like natural. I think that's a good thing. What a great question. Now, as far as whether or not natural fertilizers and if that changes the texture or the heat or the flavor, not quite sure. That's a great question, though. Really, thank you.
We got a question up the back, so I can make it out of the back. Anyone got a question now? Here we go. It's always the kids.
I love the kids.
What's your favourite Australian chili?
Australian chili. I don't know if I have a specific chili that's native to only Australia. I will tell you that that's a common question that I'm asked all the time. It's a good question. I think my favorite chilies are probably the ghost peppers. I really, really like them. In my home back in Reno, I review lots of sauces for my channel, so I probably have somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 or 500 bottles of hot sauce in my house that are a couple different refrigerators. When I'm sitting around just eating my own thing, and Chef Kenny will tell you this, and Desiree will tell you this, I don't immediately go to the hottest sauce I've got. Everybody, because I am who I am and I do what I do, I think people think that unless the sauce or the pepper on me is melting my face into the table, I'm not happy with it. Flavor, really important to tell you this, flavor is always going to be more important than heat. To me, heat, just for the sake of heat, is not something I'm interested in. That said, a meal without heat is only fuel for my engine. That's not an experience, it's only fuel. Spices and heat would make it wonderful.
Are you in the Guinness Book of World Records yet for eating chilies?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not, and here's why. Well, first of all, I did submit the skydiving thing to be a category, and I haven't heard back from them. If they say, yay, Johnny, it's good, I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board and jump again because the first jump won't count. Here's the issue that I have, and if you guys have watched, some people here have watched my channel a lot, I'm not a speed guy. I'm not fast at all. But if you sit me next to somebody and it's a battle of attrition, like a marathon, you aren't going to find too many people that are going to be eating more peppers than I am. But as far as speed, I've entered the 3 or 4 different times the Guinness Book of World Record to eat reapers. I'm just not fast. I'm really not. And I've tried my best, but I'm not in the Guinness Book yet. But I'm going to be. I'll work at it. Hopefully they make the skydiving video a category, because that, to me, is so exciting. I don't know how many people would want to do that, though. But. Any other questions for anybody? All right, so here's what I want to remind you all. Head over there at some point, get into that raffle, because you can get enough sauce that will last you guys a long time. Please support the men and women that are up here. First of all the people here, the vendors, but there's a bunch of brave men and women that are going to come up here in a couple minutes, and they're going to sit down and eat the hottest peppers in the world. It's a really neat thing to watch. I want you to watch how you'll see the color of them change. A bunch of human beings will turn into chameleons in a few minutes, and they're going to change color right in front of you. But support them and cheer them on, because it's a brave thing they do.
Yeah, you would have been to a few of these before?
Oh, a couple. Yeah, I've done a lot of chili. If it's not a speed event, but just an enduro, I've never lost one. So I win every one that I'm in pretty much. But as far as speed events, I do it just because it's fun. But I've been in a lot of them. And
what's the most impressive competitor you've seen?
Like a worldwide stage?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a... I don't want to sound arrogant, but please don't take this that way. But there's only about a half a dozen people. I'm sure there's a lot of people. They just may not have a YouTube channel. But as far as YouTube, there's only about a half a dozen people that can do what I do. There's a man named Claude Dubé in Canada. He has a really high tolerance. There's a guy in Italy named Giancarlo Gasparotto. Giancarlo. He goes by Jack Pepper. He's a weirdo. I eat peppers and you can tell I'm hurting. He'll eat peppers and just look at you and talk like nothing's wrong. Matt Price, you guys, Matt Price, your local hero here. It's funny, someone said he's the Johnny Scoville of Australia. I said, no, I'm the Matthew Price of America. He's a savage. He's amazing. Chili Beast, Jason Riley has a really high tolerance. Brianna Skinner and from Sydney has a very high tolerance.
Are any of these in the Guinness Book of Records?
Jack Pepper has several. He's a speed guy.
He's the guy.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's in the Guinness Book for several things. The ones I just mentioned, I think he's the only one that has a Guinness Book thing. Here's the deal: Guinness Book. You guys know this? They don't pay you to win a category. If they did, when you asked me if you're in the Guinness Book, I would say yeah, because I would have made that happen somehow. They don't pay you for that. So my whole thing is this: it's not a bravado thing. It's not like who can be the tallest and who's the toughest. And because of this, all these little guys, I want more people eating chilies than we're eating chilies today. And I want the chili community to grow. You know why? Isn't this a great family reunion? I want it bigger and bigger. Next year when I come back, and chilling out in WA, Chef Kenny. Legend is a word that's thrown around too often. People call me a legend. That's a legend, for real. That's a legit legend. So I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Chef Kenny and Shirley and his wife. They're amazing. But we're already planning next year's trip here. And next year, I've only been here 2 weeks. So first week was in Sydney, then a week here. Next year, I'll spend 3 weeks here and maybe a week in Sydney, or maybe just 4 weeks here. But I'll be here for a lot longer next time.
Yeah, I think Kenny was telling me about 15 years ago, I think there was only about 2 producers. Phil, you would know that. Would that be right? About 15 years ago, 2 producers? So who would be the longest standing producer in WA? Would be Kenny?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm telling you, proof is in the pudding. That's an American expression. The proof is in the pudding. Do me a favor. At some point, we're about to have a really great chili contest. Support these people. Cheer them on because they're about to go through something very scary. But at some point, you're making a massive mistake if you don't go over there and try some of Chef Kenny's products. And anybody who buys one of his products, you come to me, I'll autograph it for you, and we'll take some pictures for you guys. So please do that.
All right, so for now, I'm going to hand it over to John.
Thank you, Scott.
And Johnny will hang around. And,
absolutely.
Let's see how everybody goes.
Johnny is going to assist us in the chili eating competition. The prelude to this is that we need to select our entrants. Now, what we do is we ask people to fill in the form that says, I absolve Araluen of any responsibility whatsoever, and here is my bank account number and PIN number. And once they've done that,